Hi everyone, it's me, Artemis, bringing you another phenomenal, amazing World Warships Legends video. In this video, we are going to go over a brief, quick history of Prince Eugen of Savoy, including the Kriegsmarine Prinz Eugen, named after the famous Field Marshal. Eugene was a war hero and at first was promoted as one of the youngest generals in the Austrian military and later Field Marshal. He led the Holy League in the Great Turkish War, winning numerous victories from Buda, liberating Hungary, and launched a siege against Belgrade in Serbia and took the fortress city. At the Battle of Zentan, he led forces of the Holy League against the Ottoman forces, and later would fight in the Spanish War of Secession, making good friends with John Churchill, and together defeating the French forces at the Battle of Blelheim in Bavaria, in Germany. The commander we are using, or running today, is Karl von Muller, a famous World War I raider. His base perk is Hardy for maximum cruiser speed. We are running Beyond Reach. We are also running Before It's Too Late for detection of torpedoes. We are doing Punch Through for AP, multiplier, and damage. So armor piercing damage and multiplier for armor piercing. We are doing Spectated with main battery for dispersion and shell griffin. The legendary perk also will increase your range, but also refill your main battery reload speed faster, and that would be Refill Station. The inspirations that we are using is Norman Scott for cruiser shell grouping, and the other inspiration we are using is Gunther Lütjens, named after that was a famous admiral who went down with Bismarck. Obviously, we're on the map Greece. The modules that we are running on Prinz Eugen are Aiming System Mod 1, Steering Gear Mod 2, Target Acquisition Mod 1, Gunfire Control Mod 2. The way that Prinz Eugen is that she is a heavy sorry, my lips are chapped, so I do apologize. Is a heavy cruiser in the Kriegsmarine. She is a Admiral Hipper class cruiser. She has sister ships, so that would be Admiral Hipper. Obviously, she has turtleback armor, so she takes a lot of damage, but be careful because you don't want to do that quite a lot, especially against battleships, because sometimes turtleback might not work all the way. But it's great against cruisers if you angle, kite in or forward, or kite backwards or away. Okay. Also, just like any other cruisers are island huggers, and right now what I'm doing is that I'm perfectly kiting forward towards a New Orleans, and obviously they took Alpha, but obviously he's not angled, he's flat broadside, so there's going to be easy citadels for me for the most part, as you can see. Okay. Anyway, we're kiting slightly forward in this little cove outlet that I put myself in on the map Greece, in the center of the map. Now, I am using in-game indicators, communicating basically with my team. If you're unable to communicate with your mic, just use those indicators. Also, peripheral vision, pay attention to what's in front of you, and at the same time, have situation awareness, and pay attention to situation awareness on the minimap. It's very important. Obviously, there's an Otago here in front of me. We all know and know quite well what an Otago cruiser can do, because they have the torpedoes. But then again, it's the Japanese, and they're pretty good at getting killed when they play too aggressive. As you can notice here, I'm going to launch torps here. Now, German torpedoes are wonderful and phenomenal at close range. As you can see, this poor Otago thinks he can outplay me. Obviously, we've just proven wrong. Now, I'm going to kite forward here and angle away, and by turning also as well to make sure he didn't launch torps ahead of me. Obviously, he did not. He was unable to. It seems like he forgot that he had torpedoes, and I didn't. Anyway, we're going to kite a little bit to our right here, turning towards the recently new released cruiser of the Netherlands. And obviously, we're going to leave ourselves angled here against him. Okay? Like I said earlier, most cruisers are island huggers. But when you have the opportunity to engage targets at close range or medium range, this ship is very well suited for that. You will dominate mostly every time, as long as you're not going against bigger ships with bigger caliber guns. Because if you do, like I said, it's not going to end quite well for you. Also, try and help your teammates. Again, this is a strategy game. Okay, so it's an MMO strategy game. Thinking man's game, thinking woman's game. Okay, you gotta outthink, outplay, and outmaneuver your opponents. Okay, always remember that. Not everybody on my team didn't remember that, so unfortunately they would die. But and same thing with the enemy team, for instance. A lot of the people, when you play maps like Greece, you have to play in a way where you're properly balancing out your play style. So for instance, for a while I was playing passive. Now I'm playing aggressive, but I'm balancing it out at the same time. Alright, for instance, we look at the Pan-Asian cruiser here in front of me. You know they have deep water torps, you know they're very fast torps, and you know, to avoid those kind of torpedoes, same thing with Japanese torpedoes, is never turn away from them. You should always turn in. That is very important. You will see this later in the video. That, you know, later, well, for instance, later in this match. We are being harassed by the recently new cruiser with, you know, their bomb dropping mechanic. Don't worry. We can handle that. So far the team is doing amazing and doing quite well. We really held the center. It's very important because that's another thing. It's very important in games like this and especially in matches like this. It's very important to hold center. If you do not hold center, okay, you don't hold any sides of the flanks. It's the same thing. At least hold one side of the map, okay, and center, you should be able to win the match. If not, and you foobar it, you know, I don't know what to say. That would be on you. Okay? Obviously, again, we know how notorious Pan-Asian cruisers are with citadels. Unfortunately, I was getting a lot of overpens. We probably know that they're, again, launch torps, so always turn in. As unfortunately, you could see that, you know, the person in the Pan-Asian cruiser did not get any hits on their torpedoes because me and the other cruiser in front of me turned in towards them, and by then we had time to avoid them. All that's left now is a Netherlands cruiser, obviously. I believe he's going to be on my... At first I thought he was on my left, but I noticed where the planes were coming, and that's another thing. Situation awareness, like I said. Notice where the planes are. Okay. So once I knew where the planes were coming from, I knew what direction they were at. So of course I start doing adjustments and I start turning towards my right side of the map, assuming they are going to be there. And fortunately enough, I was right. Again, you have to outthink, outplay, and outmaneuver your opponents. Obviously, the reason why I was going right now at this point, assuming he went left, I went, you know, right. He was trying to target one of our destroyers, and I was there escorting my fellow teammate who was almost nearly dead. Okay. Like I said, it's very important to work with your team. We are going to do phenomenally well. We didn't really make 100k damage, so when people, like, when you do like 90 or whatever, it's phenomenal, it's great. Don't listen to anybody, especially when you earn XP either. So like when people watch this video and they're like, oh, you didn't do 100k, or you blabbled too much, you know, don't listen to them. It's because they don't know what they're talking about. As you can see, I'm going right. I'm avoiding the bombs. I already know exactly where the person is going. and I'm going to head straight for this little island in front of me, and because I know exactly where he's trying to head. He's on the edge of the map. Unfortunately, the way people play like this is kind of foolish because you weren't really doing anything for your team. Just saying. Obviously, we're going to score some Citadel hits. We're going, everyone's targeting this person, and I'm going to get the kill. I got a little over 9,000, and I got a phenomenal score, over 3,000 plus XP. Anyway, we had a phenomenal match. I'm going to be on top of the team as always. It's so because I'm a goddess. Anyway, you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you all later on the high seas. Bye.